below zero hits us in life. Built for the cold, you say that ain't right. Too cold for the average Joe, just right for those who hear the show. In the image of greatness you were made, but taught by the world to be played. A new generation, we're building, no victims, we're creating. Them haters, keep hating, cause Gen Zero, we blazing. Whether you realize it or not, the devil is out to get you with his two biggest D's. If he can get you to doubt in yourself, or if he can't do that, at least get you to drift through life with no purpose. Welcome to the final episode of this season where we don't let the D's in our life cause us to blame the God for the things that happen. We've covered a lot, right? And I understand a lot of these can be kind of dark. They can be morbid topics. They can be topics that no one really wants to discuss. And here's the encouragement I give you as we finish this season is if you feel the need for a close friend, you know, that's struggling with one of them, or even yourself, have the courage to just have that conversation with that person. Ask them if they want to go grab coffee. Ask them if they want to hang out and just start talking about life. Because sometimes it's just that extra voice. I've mentioned different people that have entered my life at different times that allowed me to share different things, whether it was through close friends or family or counselors, right? That allowed me the space to share and process the things I was going through. I highly encourage you to do that because we are creating an army of people that are no longer going to claim victim and play victim to the circumstances around us, right? Because it's not what happens to you, it's who you become through it. So welcome to this final episode of this season of Built for the Cold podcast. Too cold for the average Joe, just right for me and the listeners of this show. The devil's two biggest D's, okay? When we look at doubt, the devil wants to distract you. We talked about kind of drugs and distractions in a previous episode, but just by distracting you, he actually allows the seeds of doubt to start to form. Because when you have a dream or a goal, or you want that business or that dream job or that relationship, doubt's going to come when you least expect it. So you need to understand this play in the devil's playbook. Actually, I encourage you guys to grab a copy of Napoleon Hill's Outwitting the Devil if you want an actual step-by-step playbook of how to overcome these two biggest D's. That's where a lot of these thoughts came to share with you for all the different times in my life where I really doubted my ability, and it hits you at the moments where you feel everything's going great. You're on the path. You've hit some level of success. You have that relationship you want. And then out of nowhere, boom, doubt just like hits you. And you're just like, why am I doubting this? I felt so confident about it like 5 minutes ago. Because the devil's constantly playing a game. The devil actually lurks behind the door of your waffleness, your uncertainty, right? In yourself and who you're becoming. And that's why you have to have an armor around you of like understanding who you are, not only who you are, but whose you are, so you don't let him get in. I was at the Elevation Worship concert in Connecticut. And this is one of the greatest examples I've ever heard as far as what the devil does to cause doubt. And Steven Furtick, the pastor of Elevation Church, had a guitar, right? And then one of his lead worship singers came up and put the guitar out of tune and used it as an example to say like, hey, this is what the devil does. He like just out tunes your guitar a little bit. Think of the guitar as like a symbol of your heart, and he out tunes your heart. So you start playing chords and notes that don't sound right, and it actually causes your ability to not believe in the heart that you were given and the tool that you have that God's given you. And that's what the devil does. He distracts you first, right? Just long enough to get your heart out of tune. Because while you're paying attention to something else, right, he's there out tuning your guitar so it sounds off the next time you touch it. The only way to overcome that is you have to have some sort of spiritual alignment. And we're going to talk about this and end on this for this season. Having that spiritual alignment, I don't care if it's God or Buddha or the Dalai Lama, I don't even know if that's a faith, but like whatever it is for you, or even just the universe, even if you're more spiritual, some kind of higher energy and power, that's how you retune your heart. That's how you start to believe in yourself again, because when you tune your heart to that, it actually helps put the instrument, right, the guitar, back in tune, because the universe and God can only play perfect notes, right? But you can't let the seeds of doubt creep in. It's the devil called doubt. He's going to come when you least expect it. You want to prepare for it by understanding the playbook. And that's why I encourage you to read Outwitting the Devil by Napoleon Hill. And I would say this, until you believe like he's going to attack you, until you believe all these lies, like slowly over time, it's doubt by 1,000 cuts. He's relentless. He has an unforgiving pursuit to find all the areas where you're weak and hit you with those. All those past experiences you had where you didn't perform to the level you could have, where you let a distraction or a bad decision take you, and he wants you to like keep that as a note, as like an out-tuned guitar in your heart and never fix it. Right? Because if he can have you believe that long enough, you keep playing that guitar, that heart that's out of tune long enough, he can have you completely forget your purpose. Because that's what the devil wants. He doesn't want you to live a life of purpose, inspiring people with God-like energy, because that's the antithesis of who he is. Right? So that's how you overcome doubt. The second one, and this one is very subtle. This one's the most dangerous. It's called drifting. You drift when you live a life without intentionality. If there's no intentionality behind your actions on a day to day and you're just getting up and just letting the wind blow you whichever way, hang out with other people, just enter your path, take whatever job that takes you wherever it goes, you are defaulted to drifting. Just like a driftwood, just goes with the waves, just goes the way the wind blows it. Because if he can get you to do that, you start to have no control over the bad or good things that might happen in your life. There may be some good things that happen along the way. And I've seen too many people, especially those very close to me, first get distracted. Then they don't understand all those small little distractions add up to where now it starts to be drifting. And the moment you're drifting, there's something in the book talks about hypnotic rhythm. You're just going through the motions and you don't even realize it. See, this is the most dangerous because you can't really see it coming and you don't really understand it until it's too late. Maybe you could be like a person that I know that all of a sudden, by the time they were 40, they had just drifted through life, just took whatever job, hung out with whoever, and got to 40 and like, I hate where I am. I can't even believe I'm here. I don't understand why I'm here. That's because they didn't understand the devil's most powerful tool called drifting, right? So how do you overcome this? Again, it's going to be very simple. Instead of just letting life take you, right? Pour into yourself where you need to and feel not just the past pains, but also feel your successes. I know we've been talking about bad things. I'm going to teach you right now the best way to overcome this. You need to literally create your own personal highlight reel. You're so focused on Instagram and Facebook, everyone else's highlight reel, go create your own. Go create those times where you were successful. Maybe it was as a kid and you won in sports. Maybe you had good grades. Maybe it was the time you got that car. Maybe it was the time that you got that promotion. You need that in front of you constantly so you subconsciously train your mind to remember how much of a winner you are. And let God do the rest for the times that you doubt in yourself. Because you have a lot of stories behind your successes as well, not just your failures. Right? Because through your victory, people will eliminate their excuses because they see it's possible. Right? Obviously, I shared a lot of bad things that have happened, but there's been also a lot of good things that I shared too. I don't like to talk a lot about them just because it's just whatever, and they're going to be just something that no one cares about like a year from now. Same with me. I keep looking to the future. But when you allow yourself to feel your success and feel the different things that you've done well, it eliminates the devil being able to come in and out tune your guitar and out tune your heart to the person that God created you to be, which I believe is someone who is very successful. Any of you listening, I don't care where you come from. I don't care what your skin color is. I don't care what political belief you have. I don't care, and neither does God. He wants you to tune your heart to Him. The universe wants you to tune your heart to the energy that calls you to a higher calling in your life. So that way we can all defeat the devil together. We stop playing victim for the world that wants to teach us we're victims of our circumstance. And it's seeped into our mentality so much that it just drives me to create what I call Generation Zero. We are the generation that's going to change everything. We're not going to claim victim. So go out there. I hope this podcast has helped, and we'll see you in the next season.
This is where winners learn to be great. Built for the cold, you say? That damn straight. The lessons, the love, the insights from above. Hope you take them and grow, even with another cup of Joe. Thank you for dropping in and listening to the show.